Yeah, look, it's just another fight for me, to be honest. If anything, I'm more excited, more hungry to get the win. But yeah, you know, like props to her. She's undefeated. She's stopped 90% of her opponents. So you know, people can say what they want, but she's backed it up until now.
If PFL aren't looking, then I'll probably say I hate it. But it comes with the job, you know. This is how I'm gonna, you know, build my brand and become a superstar, I suppose, along with the fighting as well, which is most important. But yeah, I've kind of just gotta go with the flow.
She walked into the arena smiling, calm, relaxed.
Attacks the low leg. Oh! Straight right hand!
Hackett trying to recover, trying to pull this into a grappling range. Now she's going to be open to knees.
Ditcheva makes the playoffs with a win of any kind. Oh, knees!
Speaking with the kind of confidence that sounds convincing in interviews and looks good on camera. Every answer measured, every sentence controlled. She looked comfortable, almost casual, as if this moment carried no real weight. But what Chelsea Hackett didn't understand, and perhaps only realized once it was far too late, is that inside the cage, confidence without true preparation has no value at all. Because when the cage door closes, none of that matters anymore. There are no microphones, no narratives, no second takes, no room to reframe the story. What remains is instinct, technique, timing, and the ability to function when pressure is no longer theoretical, but immediate and unforgiving. And in that environment, Dakota Ditcheva exists on a completely different plane. From the opening second, the fight felt unbalanced. There was no prolonged feeling-out process, no respectful exchange of rangefinders. Dakota stepped forward with the calm certainty of someone who already understood how the story would end. She just needed the correct sequence of events to let it unfold naturally. That's one of the most dangerous aspects of Dakota Ditcheva as a fighter. She doesn't fight to discover answers. She fights because she already has them. While Hackett attempted to establish rhythm, circling, testing range, probing with kicks, Dakota was already reading her like a pattern repeating itself. Footwork, weight shifts, defensive habits, everything was being stored, measured, and evaluated in real time. The first low kick wasn't thrown with malice. It wasn't about damage or intimidation. It was a diagnostic strike, a test, and it told Dakota everything she needed to know. Hackett's reactions were just a fraction late, her base slightly exposed, her defensive responses predictable, small details, invisible to most, but obvious to someone operating at Dakota's level. Once that information was gathered, the tempo of the fight changed instantly. Not in chaos, not in desperation, but in clarity. When Dakota stepped forward with that combination, it wasn't emotion driving her. It was execution. The hands came fast, clean, efficient, opening a perfect lane for a straight right that landed without resistance. Hackett dropped. And with her, so did the illusion of control. This wasn't just a momentary mistake. It was the collapse of a belief system that had carried her into the cage, the idea that she could keep pace, that she could manage the danger, that this fight would develop on her terms. It didn't. This wasn't a flash knockdown. It was the kind that rearranges priorities instantly.
Gina's doing a great job of staying, keeping her back against the fence.
Oh. Ooh, the club and a right hand. Oh, what a big one. Dakota Ditcheva, right hand and a hammer. Changing leg kicks.
And I'm excited to see this striking exchange between the two.
Yeah,
Dakota, well known for that Muay Thai background, a record I believe of 11-1-1. Her mum was a pro fighter as well. She's a very similar style. But Shana Bannon, I called a number of her fights at the IMAFs, some in Europe and then some at the Worlds, and she impressed me so much. I believe she medalled, but I saw at least 2 fights that she won, and the way she won them was with aggression and excellent striking as well on her side as well. So I'm very, very excited to see this title fight.
Shauna taking one of those tools away from her straight away, and Shauna is the more aggressive of the two. She's initiated the clinch up against the cage and is not giving Ditcheva any room to move.
Ditcheva still only young, 20, 21 years old I believe, but she is now under the tutelage of the Aspire gym, looking to make this move into mixed martial arts. And Dean Garnett obviously there, but got a lot of credit to Phil Turner, the jiu-jitsu coach over there. I really don't give him credit enough. He is a phenomenal coach, and you see what he does with the likes of Liam McCracken, Mohamed Mokayev, Marlon Jones, who we'll see in action in a bit. And he is also working very hard with Dakota evolving her skills and turning her from just that stand-up striker into that mixed martial artist.
But then we look at the other side of the coin in the SBG Dublin lab. She's got Paddy Houlihan in there. You know, UFC, one of the most inspiring
this fight. We had Dakota in the parlay, and also we threw a little sprinkle on by TKO or KO. I will tell you, the confidence that she's going to have now getting up is going to be unbelievable.
Beautiful knee from
Dakota and Isom have met before. It was Dakota's last amateur match, and now stepping in to replace Dee Bradley, we have Carrie Isom coming in for her pro debut. So these two young ladies know each other, and perhaps Carrie thinks she's seen something that she can exploit the first time.
Yeah, I think it's the sole of Dakota's foot several times. Big push kick again. Really working well for Dakota. That one straight through the middle and already marking up her opponent's face.
Big knee to the body there. The first encounter ended first round rear naked choke for Dakota Ditcheva.
Yeah, close distance could work for Isom. She comes from a good grappling stock with Jimmy Johnson there in the corner.
But in the clinch, Dakota, the knees, the elbows. This young lady likes to strike.
So composed, takes half a step backwards to throw more shots. And Isom's left hitting air with the looping punches. Dakota just looks so comfortable.
And straight, and wearing the fight already. Reddened around the face. But I've got to give this woman props. She stepped in the cage already with Dakota. She knows what she's getting into, and she feels she can do something different this time.
Yeah, she closed the distance, wants to shoot for the legs so she doesn't eat too many of those knees. Punishing knees in the clinch from Dakota there.
Yeah, Dakota just spinning back elbow just missed. And this is the thing. And another! And a knee!
Straight across.
And another elbow! And another!
That's opened up a cut on Isom's head. Big back elbow.
No quitting Isom at all as she throws back though.
Yeah, still coming forward. Dakota
trying again.
Time.
And you knew that as soon as Ditcheva got into the pro ranks, she would enjoy using the elbows.
Time off, they're going to take a look at that cut.
The kind that tells a fighter, in brutal clarity, that the person across from them is operating at a higher speed, mentally and physically. To Hackett's credit, she reacted well. She scrambled back to her feet, closed distance, pressed Dakota against the fence. She tried to force the fight into a grind, a place where chaos could slow things down and survival might turn into recovery. But against Dakota Ditcheva, the clinch is not a refuge. It's a mistake. Dakota's Muay Thai foundation reveals itself most clearly in these moments. Her posture stays upright, her balance untouched, her awareness sharp. While others panic in close quarters, she becomes methodical. Knee after knee drove into Hackett's body, not thrown wildly, not rushed, each one targeted, each one designed to remove something specific: breath, posture, stability. The body began to fold, and once that happened, the mind followed. What looked like resistance was slowly becoming endurance. And endurance, against someone like Dakota, is never a winning strategy. Hackett tried to absorb, tried to endure, but endurance only works when pressure comes in waves. Dakota's pressure is constant. Body shots drained oxygen, short punches upstairs stole clarity, the fence eliminated escape routes, and the pace erased hope of any real reset. This is where elite fighters separate themselves from the rest. Dakota does not allow resets. She does not allow opponents to regroup. She does not give space for confidence to rebuild. Every second spent surviving is another second accumulating damage. Within moments, the outcome was inevitable. The referee stepped in. The fight was over. No shock, no disbelief, only confirmation. But this fight was never just about the finish. It was about exposure. It revealed the brutal gap between self-belief built through words and dominance built through repetition, discipline, and years of correct preparation. One fighter entered with confidence shaped by interviews and intention. The other entered with confidence forged by reality. Dakota Ditcheva doesn't rely on hype. She doesn't need verbal warfare to establish authority. Her presence inside the cage does that for her. Raised in combat, surrounded by it from childhood, Dakota absorbed fighting the way others absorb language. Her mother, Lisa Howarth, a multiple-time world champion, didn't just teach her how to strike. She taught her how to think inside violence. That foundation shows in every second Dakota competes. Her comfort in chaos isn't learned under pressure. It's ingrained. At long range, she's patient. In transitions, she's precise. In the clinch, she's ruthless. And most importantly, she's calm. Dakota doesn't chase finishes. She constructs them. Every movement is deliberate. Every escalation timed. Every opening exploited without panic or waste. This is the difference between fighters who react and fighters who dictate. Dakota dictates. That's exactly why the PFL became the perfect environment for her rise. It wasn't a place to learn, it was a place to demonstrate. Fight after fight, the pattern repeated. Pressure, control, damage, finish. And still, questions followed her. What about grapplers? What about deep waters? What happens when things go wrong? But those questions ignore one critical truth. Dakota manufactures the conditions of the fight. Opponents don't drag her into chaos, she brings chaos to them, then remains comfortable while they unravel inside it. The fight against Chelsea Hackett wasn't just another win, it was a warning shot to the entire division. Not simply to respect Dakota's record, but to respect what she represents when the cage door closes. Because skill alone doesn't define danger, control does. She doesn't offer learning experiences, she doesn't allow late adjustments, and once she senses survival mode, she increases pressure, not for speed, but for certainty. That mentality is rare, and it's dangerous, because while some fighters still rely on words to project confidence, Dakota lets silence do the work. No excessive celebration, no statements to prove, no narratives to sell, just control. Chelsea Hackett learned that lesson in minutes. Others learned it earlier, and many more will learn it soon, because Dakota Ditcheva isn't just winning fights, she's setting a standard of efficiency, composure, and domination that forces the division to evolve, or be left behind. And the most unsettling part of all, she still looks like she's just getting started.